Sick.
Welcome to Geek.
Welcome to Geek Garden.
No, welcome.
Are you doing it or am I doing it?
He's just posing and peacocking.
Welcome to Geek Garden. I'm just trying. We're gonna do
New Year, new us.
New Year. No, same us, pretty much.
Same. That's true.
Well, new Brandon. He's been
Oh man.
new
Welcome to Geek Garden. This is a new video.
video.
Today's going to be a little bit different.
A little bit strange.
We're doing some best games of 2017.
2017.
Since it's now 2018, it's officially the future.
Yeah.
So take off your party elements. Throw those aside.
Which
2018 is about business. Business year. And 2017 was a party year, so get your party elements back for just a quick second. So we're gonna revisit party.
Right, okay. As a quick note, I feel like we barely played any games that came out in 2017.
We played enough.
In 2017, we played enough.
Yeah, most of the
to
games I played
these
were
lists.
most of the games that I played this year were from previous years,
Yeah.
and then a lot of the games that I really wanted to play that came out this year, I was still working through my backlog, so I
Yeah.
didn't get to.
All of us had too much shit to catch up on.
So yeah, I feel like
Cool.
all of
I
our
feel like-
lists might be very similar, but we'll see.
Still, yeah, I'm still working on that too.
Yeah, no, I'm not done yet. I've still got 2016 and 2015 games to go through.
No, yeah, like
And then I
I'm,
can do 2016.
I'm working on like Wolfenstein right now. So
Yeah.
that game came out forever. It came out when the,
Yeah, like the sequel
360.
came
Yeah,
out, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
So I have my list.
Wait, I have mine.
Do you guys have your
I
list?
have my list. That's why I have my
I
old
thought-
phone and my battery, so it won't die on me.
I think between the three of us, we're gonna have at least 2, if not 3, crossovers each.
Now, did
Yeah.
you guys like top 5 this yet?
I kind of top 5'd it. Like, I didn't rank them. There's like one that's like a clear winner, and then other ones.
I have like a couple that are like clearly my favorites, but like I didn't really put them in any order. Really, I just kind of have these are the top 5.
Okay, I definitely did the top 5.
Should we do like? Should I knock one out and then you knock one out and then like go like that and then
Yeah,
we'll kind of
sure.
save
Yeah.
save from repeating any?
I can roll with that.
Does
Yeah.
anyone want to start? Should I start?
Can I start off with an honorable mention? That
Oh,
like,
I have some honorable mentions.
Do we want to run bunches now or after?
I want to do it now because I want to end on the high of
All
like,
right.
this
Okay.
game
Cool.
was the
All right.
fucking shit.
Let's start honorable mentions now then.
Cool.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm only gonna do one. There's probably some others that I forgot about, but my like big honorable mention is For Honor for this year
I'm sorry.
because I was gonna put it in my top 5 just because I didn't play a lot of games this year, and I still think that For Honor has a lot of good mechanics and good ideas, and if they made a sequel that was like better business practice, I'd be really excited about it still. But
Yeah.
execution was disappointing, so because it was new and different, and like you can still play For Honor and be like, wow, there's not any other game like this.
Yeah.
I still think that it's worth talking about at the end of the year,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make it into my top 5 because of all of its bullshit.
Ironically, because I played it the least out of the 3 of us, it's actually in my top 5.
And that's fair, yeah.
And I
Like,
think the exact same reasons, because like it was something new, and there's not really any other game that's like it as far as like its aesthetic and how it mechanically works.
yeah.
But as far as business practices go, and like being and the longevity of how fun it is, yeah,
Like
kind of.
I really had a blast with
Mhm.
For Honor, but it's not in my top 5.
Yeah.
It's not even in my honorable mentions.
Wow, damn.
What is
Sean,
your
just
honorable mentions?
give us one of our. Give us
One was
Yeah,
this might actually come up in the actually you know what I'm gonna say that one because I think it might come up with you guys.
Okay.
But one of the honorable mentions I have is the Flame in the Flood, which
Mhm.
came out this year. It was a lot of fun. It's like a little nice survival game.
Indie game, right?
Yeah, it was an indie game done like a kind of paper, like a cutout paper mache
I don't
style
think I ever
of
saw
art.
you actually play it. I don't think
I
I've
played
seen any
it
of
quite a bit.
Yeah, I watched him playing it.
Yeah, I played it maybe a total of 15 hours, I think. It was a lot of fun.
Damn.
I had a blast with it. I still haven't beaten it. It has some mechanics that obviously aren't amazing, but overall I think it's an enjoyable, chill experience.
Sick.
Cool. I'm trying to think what was in my honorable mentions. I'll mention kind of 2 because one of them's a bit of a throwaway one. We got a few like re-releases this year. 2 of them being Mario Kart 8 and Crash Bandicoot, and like those I just thought I mentioned because they're a lot of fun. I think they did a good job. Mario Kart 8 is obviously just like a really recent re-release because they just re-released it.
Yeah,
for
it was
Switch.
more just because Wii U didn't have enough sales. Mario Kart's popular. We'll just
Yeah.
repackage it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
The
some
Crash
numbers on
Bandicoot
it.
I've been having so much fun with. I wasn't I've played remastered games before, and I was expecting that, but it's not a remastered game. It's a
remake.
Remake.
Yeah.
Like they basically took the same levels and everything, but then just like totally reskinned it and everything.
New
Which is,
engine,
like, super
new
cool.
models, new
Any other honorable mentions from you, Kelly?
No, like I said, I really only had like a top 5, and I just kind of decided to bump For Honor out of it in favor of something else that I thought was like handled better from a business standpoint and stuff,
Fair enough.
and sort of highlight some other games. I would like to put For Honor higher up there, but it was a tough call for me because I loved it so much. But I just had the one.
I think another one for Sean and I is Star Wars.
Star Wars, I wanted to, but it's also not on my top 5.
No, not mine either.
Not even
It's
in
not
mine.
to mention because again, it's like it's fun, but EA, you're kind of shitty.
Not even in your honorable mentions, though.
It's not in.
Wow.
But dishonorable mention.
That-
It's a
yeah,
dishonorable
fair enough.
mention.
To
That's
be
fair.
fair, I had a lot of fun with Star Wars Battlefront, but yeah, a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Honorable mentions quickly: Human Fall Flat, Doom, and Snake Pass. Doom because it got released on the Switch this year, but I played it for PS4.
Oh, right.
It also
I was
got
like,
VR
how did Doom
release.
not make your top 5? But no, yeah, that wasn't actually.
Yeah, so it wasn't a real one, but I loved it so much.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Actually, I will have an honorable mention that's kind of weird because I haven't actually played the game, but I played the beta and I want to play it. Is Neo.
Neo.
Oh, cool.
Because it's a game that like I know because I played the beta and I've heard people talk about it. I know that it took this sort of new trend of making Dark Souls like games, but actually did a good job and like did enough of its own stuff that it is interesting and different and whatever. So
Yeah.
Neo is like on my like games that I'm going to play when I have the time, and I played the beta and it's really good. So honorable mention for a 2017 release that I haven't actually played.
Cool.
Cool.
Now we can move on.
So should I start with one and we'll just go across?
Yeah.
One of mine's already been knocked off, which is For Honor. My first one will be Injustice 2.
Yeah,
that's on my list.
Yeah.
Same.
That's on my list.
Yep.
Solid game. Again, I didn't play it as much as I like to, and I struggled to jump on it. But like, I didn't have any problems with that game. It's a lot of fun. Character roster's awesome. The characters they've been releasing since release have been fantastic.
Super fun, really fun guest characters.
The like campaign story mode has been a lot of fun.
It's so good.
There's a gear free
and
mode.
it's just and like everything that you could have been a potential problem, they like avoided. With like the gear system and stuff.
I'm a little disappointed by how grindy it can feel. It's like, it's a fighting game. Can I just have cool costumes, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I get that there's the monetization model, and it never, because it's a fighting game, you never feel pressured to have to buy them unless you're like, I guess, really hardcore into it.
Yeah.
And I find that more so than some other genres, fighting games really have to start like finding ways to bring on new players.
Yeah.
Just because
no, for sure.
people who play fighting games, you know who they are, right?
Mhm.
When we basically picked up Injustice just because we like superheroes.
Yeah, I like franchise like licensed fighting games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So they're always trying to find new ideas, and obviously like having cool aesthetics and like a gear system and everything like that is something that.
well, I think it's great too because you've got when something that is a franchise thing, where it's like, oh, we're gonna do alternate costumes. Like, which ones do we do for which characters? Because there's so many. For like with the DC heroes, there's so many alternate skins for so many characters, and then you get into the weird thing you had in Injustice 1, where you like. Some people have more skins than others, or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's like, let's just give them color palettes and a bunch of options, and you can make pretty good facsimiles of your favorite costumes,
Yeah.
or you can kind of make a new, or whatever, and like, I think that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
If Marvel ever released a new fighting game, I'd love for them to do something similar. Like, I think it's really cool.
So Kelly, what about Marvel vs. Capcom?
Doesn't count.
I was gonna say the other thing that Injustice does that I wish more games did, especially with multiplayer mechanics, is like the re-costume for a different character, but on top of an already existing character, right? So the biggest example was Captain Cold has a skin for Mr. Freeze, and I just think that's something that I wish more games did, because then it allows more people to have their favorite character in the game, but not necessarily have to like recreate another character, like a fully developed character inside.
Yeah, like Raiden, you can play as Black Lightning.
Yeah.
And so like they got more voice lines and stuff, which I admit there is like money and stuff
Yeah.
that goes into that.
Yeah.
But they don't have to build a whole new moveset and do balance stuff and whatever. It's
Yeah.
like they have this moveset, they have this character, throw some cosmetic stuff on them, which is cool.
Yeah, no, and I liked that about Injustice. I liked all the Injustice. Kind of like, I really liked its character customization options. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Kelly, you up next? Sean, you up next? What's going next?
You're chomping at the bit. Hit me with something.
No, okay. My next one would be Horizon Zero Dawn.
Hey,
Nice. I haven't played it yet,
That's on my list.
and I want to play it.
it's really good. Super enjoyed it. Great world. A lot of fun. The bow and arrow feels great. Yeah, like shooting the components off the machines, all that stuff just like feels really good. Plays really well. Aloy's an awesome character. The world's super fun to explore. The cultures are really interesting and defined.
It's one of those games that I found, for the most part, at least over the year, was super underrated. I found a lot of people like expected that they knew everything about the game going into it, because looking at the trailers and the visuals for the game, you get a lot of information just from watching those trailers. You got fucking robot animals and stuff, and you're some kind of primitive person who uses bow and arrow. But there's a lot to that game, and it's a lot of fun. And Kelly, you should play.
I want to play. It's again one of those things like 2017 actually had just a lot of really, really good game releases, and it was impossible to play them all and still be a functional human. But one of the things that I like the most, I think, about Horizon Zero Dawn is that it was a new IP. Like in this current age of like this year and next year, it's a lot of sequels and a lot of like reboots or remakes or remasters or whatever, right? Like, and a lot of them were good, but it was cool that
Skyrim
Sony and Guerrilla were like, hey, we're doing... Don't even get me started. But Sony and Guerrilla were like, we're going to do a whole new franchise.
Recently doing a new franchise with...
Bloodborne?
Well, not
a couple
only
years ago.
Bloodborne, but not even that. The Naughty Dog one. The
Uncharted.
Not Uncharted.
No, Uncharted's been around forever.
Why am I forgetting the name?
Dog.
Joel and then Ellie. And
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. I couldn't remember the name.
That's like one of your favorite games of all time.
I know. And like they just did a new franchise there, and they're like just getting a new shaking. But they're already like, hey, you know what? Another new franchise.
And they're a little Nintendo-esque in the sense where like they could fall back on their franchises.
Oh,
you know,
totally.
they could just be like, guys, like, they're doing it, but they could be just doing it. Like, hey, we're doing Crash again. We're gonna do Spyro again. We're bringing Medieval back. Like, we're hyping into the new Tomb Raider, whatever. Like all these old Sony franchises.
Yeah.
They could. We're doing Infamous, the new one on like next gen, fully like crazy whatever, right? Like forget Second Son, we're doing this new thing, and they could do that because they have all these franchises, but they're still like, no, we want to do new stuff. We're gonna and like Guerrilla not doing Killzone, we're gonna do something new.
Yeah.
Like there was their first like third person RPG kind of thing, and like I think that's really cool.
It's a great game. It's a fantastic game. It like didn't feel as grindy as I thought. It can get grindy at some points because it's an open world game, but it was just a lot of fun. I couldn't stop exploring the world and.
My biggest beef was just trying to get fox bones, and I had to kill like a billion foxes to get one bone.
Any game
But
that's
all
got
RPGs have that
things
shit.
where like where enemies can drop parts, just make it so that they always drop it. Like just do that so that I can reliably just go get the thing. If you want, have them be some like thing that I can spec into where I'm like less likely to damage the parts.
Yeah.
So that I can salvage them. Like give me a narrative reason why they don't always do it. But like. If I'm looking for fox skins and I kill a fox, give me the fox skin, man, because I killed the fox.
No.
Yeah, one of the things that happen in that game is that you need a boar bone in order to make your inventory slots larger.
Yeah.
And so I kept going to find boars, and every second boar didn't have a boar bone, and you're like,
how? How is that
did
possible?
you not have any bones?
Well, like that was my biggest
It's a
gripe
jelly
with that
boar.
game.
Yeah, like the fun should be in just finding.
It's okay. I already spilled water on myself earlier.
The fun should be finding the boar and hunting it, not then also having to find the boar that has bones.
Like the boar should be harder to find, and then they should.
But they just give you the things you need.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Kelly, what next game?
I'm gonna bring us down from the big crazy AAA stuff. No, it's still good.
Okay.
This is best games.
Okay, all right.
This is the
you
good
said
time.
bring us down. I was getting
No,
worried.
I just mean in terms of scope and cost.
Okay. Good.
Something that I've been playing a lot recently is Mages of Mystralia.
Oh yeah.
And it ended up sort of snaking out For Honor in terms of my top 5 games.
Nice.
And it was because it's just got it's got so much character, like it's really fun. It's not voice acted, but like all the text of all the characters speaking and stuff is really funny, and there's all kinds of like little weird in jokes and like signs you can read and stuff. That's just fun. Like there's just a lot of personality and character to it, but it does such a fun magic system that I just love so much because as you go, you build spells yourself. You're not like, oh, I just learned fireballs. You get the ability to use fire, the ability to shoot projectiles, the ability to make them move in a direction, and the ability to duplicate them or cause them to trigger other spells. and as you get more and more of these runes that you can build spells with, you're just it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and I think it's the closest I've really felt to feeling like a wizard, like how you would normally describe them narratively, with their ability to like really use their magic and craft spells and do it the way they want to.
Yeah.
I think my only gripe with it is that I think it spends more time giving you the tools and less time giving you interesting things to do with them. The sort of structure of the game is fairly traditional in terms of you go and then like I'm pretty close to the end now, and I only just got the ability to fully use all elements in all spell types.
Oh, okay.
And that's like right before I'm going to go for like the final confrontation, basically, from what I've gathered so far. I'm almost done. And there are these puzzle rooms that you go to, and like these dungeons, kind of like an old school Zelda.
Yeah.
And there's these puzzle rooms that make you think about all the tools that you have, and then you have to like quickly on the fly like construct a spell to like accomplish a very specific task. And those are really, really cool, but they're kind of few and far between. And I would have liked to see more of that, because it's good, like it's really cool. But a lot of it's just like, here's a bunch of like enemies, and some of them are kind of puzzles where they have resistances, or you can only fight them certain ways. But I think the game really shines with its like puzzle development. So if that team ever makes like a sequel or kind of expands on that, I hope they do, and I hope they lean more into that.
Cool.
More into the
it looks like a lot of fun. I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It looks like a good time.
One of my next ones was, I don't know if anyone else thought of this one, Hellblade.
Hellblade, I put it on there.
Oh my god, I forgot about Hellblade!
Yeah, it's on there. And you're the one who like beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah! Oh my god!
I'm like at the end of it, but I loved it.
Yeah, I haven't beaten it yet either. Like, you're the only one who's beat it.
I think you removed it, and that's why I haven't beat it yet.
I think I took it off because, I beat it, but like, man! I loved Hellblade so much!
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
I forgot it came out this year!
Yeah.
Okay, so one of mine is off the list, because Hellblade is fucking amazing.
Yeah, Hellblade was great. It has such a good art direction, and such good storytelling, and visuals, and voice acting, and just like, it is amazing.
It's so good.
The opening of that still gives me chills. Like, it's the shit that nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking good.
I've never played a game that gives an experience like that game does. So if you haven't played it, go check it out.
It's pretty cheap.
It's like, it's pretty cheap. It's like under $25, I think. 30,
if it's on sale, I think it released at 40.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think, but it's probably going down a bit. Oh, the game's so good.
Yeah, it's like a third person action game, but like it's also like it's more than that though.
It's more than that. You have to check it out. At least watch the trailer. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
It F's with your senses.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say.
You gotta sit there and you gotta put on your headphones.
Yeah, definitely play it with the headphones.
Oh, it's so good.
And the theming is like mythology, mainly.
Like Celtic and Norse.
Celtic.
Yeah. It's like a Celtic woman going into the Norse mythology.
That also interests you? Check it out.
Yep.
It's a good game. It's a real good game.
I can't believe I forgot to put that on my list. I just forgot about it. I don't wanna hijack you, but another thing that I think is really cool about Hellblade is that it proved this kind of pricing model. Like, they didn't throw a lot of features into it and bloat it. They're like, we have a very clear idea of what this game is. It is just that. We focus on that. They made their money back fairly quickly. They are a bigger developer. They've worked on stuff. It was Ninja Theory. They've worked on bigger stuff, but they've kind of gone indie, and they're in this kind of like midway between indie and AAA space. And the production value is just put into the right place, but not huge. It was profitable for them, really popular. I think it was a good thing for the industry as well as just being a fantastic game.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that I don't know if you guys watched much of the behind the scenes stuff, but like, there's like a really long featurette in the game about how they were working with people with like psychoses and stuff. And then their reaction to seeing the game finished. And it's really, really cool because people who are dealing with these issues in real life were so amazed to see their experience reflected what they thought was so accurately in the game. And that was something that was really important to them, and I just think that is so cool. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's a indie game that feels like it's worth the AAA cost.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a AAA game in the bad sense. It feels like a AAA game when it comes to like production and quality, but it doesn't feel like that in the sense of like all these bells and whistles and shit. Like no,
it doesn't. It goes to show that like games don't need all the bells and whistles. Like think about The Witcher. I'll use that as a quick example. Like The Witcher doesn't need half the bells and whistles it has in order to be like the cool experience that it offers. But it does have those bells and whistles for those people who are there, right? So like for me, I'm like, if it didn't have an RPG system, I probably still would have spent as much time in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is like you could see another developer making Hellblade and then being like, oh, we need like a progression tree and like a skill list and stuff, and like it would have been a lesser game for it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Another game.
Yeah, do it. Me? You?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You.
Me? Okay.
I've had 3 of mine struck off the list.
The next one I'm gonna do,
I had
well,
one of mine struck.
I had one of mine struck off,
Two
but
of
then
mine
you
struck
added Hellblade. I don't know. We're just kind of spitballing
Just
here.
throwing it out.
But I'm gonna throw out Absolver.
Yeah, it's on my list.
That was my honorable mention that I didn't mention.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll get to it because it'll come. But yeah, I really liked Absolver.
I was so excited for Absolver, and then it came out, and it was actually really good, and I was very happy.
All of us played it hardcore when it first came out. Like we played it a lot.
Yeah, the only reason that I'm not still playing it is because like one of the things that's fun about it is exploring kind of the new areas, and there isn't a lot there.
Mhm.
But whenever I'll go back to it sometimes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and the fighting system is still just so fun.
Yeah. Making your own combat style is always going to be rewarding.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And the way because your forethought is like before you get into fights, right? You're like, I need to build my move set so that I can chain together really efficiently and I'm able to counter different things. But then when you're in the fight, it's a fighting game in like a third person perspective, which is always fun. Like I love that. And
yeah, no, it was.
It's like an MMO fighting game, which is just like.
But it doesn't reward you for necessarily playing more.
Yeah,
It rewards you in your like understanding of the game's mechanics and its own versatility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's an MMO where it's just like it's kind of open world in the sense that you can run into other players and stuff, but it mechanically feels like a fighting game.
Yeah,
And it's such an interesting combo that they did well.
Yeah,
And I love, because I'm always looking at the progression systems of games,
Mhm.
right? And I love that this game, you have like a level up thing where you're like, oh, I get more health or whatever.
Yeah,
But in terms of your actual moves, you don't like, oh, I leveled up, I get to spend a skill point to learn a new move. You have to learn those moves by fighting those moves. Other people use them against you, and if you play defensively against them better, you get more experience for that move. So like if you get hit by it, you get some experience, but if you like block it or dodge it or counter it, you get more experience.
Yeah.
And so you're always learning, like your character in the game is always learning something from the people you're fighting, so every fight feels like there's a point to it. Because somebody pulls out a move, you're like, oh, I hadn't seen that before, like that's cool, I want to find people who know that move.
Yeah.
So just the fight is always, it's that very like old school martial arts movie kind of vibe, right, of like learning from your enemies and like,
I love how
So
like
good.
within discovering the world, you find NPCs that give you new fighting styles.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you can then equip that fighting style, but you can't use those individual moves for customization. You just have to like play with the whole style, and then you have to go out and fight other people with the style and fight with the style to like learn the individual moves. And then after that, you can customize the moves as the way you want. And I just think that's so cool.
it's really cool because it does put all the agency of how you fight with you. So like everyone's silhouette, like all the characters can kind of look similar, but how they move and interact with each other and like aggressively is just so cool, right? Because you identify the sweep kicks and the low kick, right? But how they're chained together is based on that individual person, which was so cool. I remember like making a combat deck for like I think 5 minutes, and it was just all kicks.
Yeah.
And it was just all sweep kicks, and like I was just like, I'm just a kick boy for like I don't know 30 minutes until I got my ass kicked a bunch. But it was fun that you could do that.
Yeah,
If
because
you-
like in a traditional fighting game, that one person has that one move. They're the only person who does it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to combo into and out of like one or two other moves efficiently, and so that's always going to be the chain you're encountering. But in this, I might combo like a punch to a sweep kick to like a forward kick, but somebody else might do like a sweep kick to a jump kick to an elbow.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have to learn how to fight that person, that player, that character, that thing in front of you is a new obstacle every time.
Yeah.
So even though you're like, oh, I know all of his moves, it's like, oh, but I've never seen him do them in that order before.
Yeah.
It's the
And
order.
so it manages to keep it exciting, because instead of having a roster of 20 characters, you have a roster of like thousands of characters.
Yeah, exactly. Or like permutations, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
The expansion of it, because like I remember, I think there was one guy who I was fighting with, and he was clever. I remember this specifically because he had like an elbow right? Where it was like a jab elbow, and he would swing on from the right. But he had it set up so that his triangle was a different elbow. So I would keep trying to block to the left, and then he would switch up that time. And I'm like, you fucking
that's
have my
so
number.
good.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Because he kept feigning me out, and I was like, oh, you mother.
I love how like in most games when I attach an identity to other people I play with, it's usually visually, but this one was how they moved.
Yeah.
Like the minute I saw when you guys like standing in your fighting stance, I'm like, oh, there's Kelly over there playing, right? And I go join him. And it was just a lot of fun.
We all picked different fight styles too.
Yeah, and then
which
that's
was-
a
which
whole
was
other
cool.
thing that like your defensive game is different. Oh, it's so good.
We all
Yeah.
had like our moves we went for, and
I
like,
want more of it. I want more of it
Yeah. Have
today.
they
Yeah.
released much extra content?
They
other than
released-
visual stuff.
They released a bunch of new masks and like
Yeah.
customizable gear. I don't know if there's been much mechanical stuff like new weapons or anything.
I mean, the moment they release a bow staff, I'm back in that game forever.
They said they were going to release more story mode, right? Single player stuff, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, it did... You know what it felt like? It felt like the prologue to a video game. And that's the only thing about it. Is it really does feel like it's starting to get going. And then it kind
So I
of just,
only want
like...
more.
and that's why it only got honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Because it starts to feel like it's... Okay, the game's about to open up. And then it kind of is like...
Yeah.
But it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
That was your mention, Kelly?
That was me, yeah.
We want to this up.
Okay,
someone else?
so I think we all know what the final game's going to be, but I'm going to
Yeah, can I-
go
can
on.
I-
I think
can I-
that those are all my games.
Can I say oh, that you're done?
I'm done. I have all my games are set.
Oh, geez,
Okay.
Sean, let's power through this. But can I say the one? I think
Yeah,
we
you
know
can
what
say
the-
it.
Okay,
Because
okay.
you'll go next. Because
Okay.
Super Mario Odyssey is my next game. Neither of you, I don't think, has got a chance
No.
to play it.
No.
But it is just... It's so much fun. It makes me really feel like playing old classic Super Mario 64. Like, I haven't played a Mario game in so long, because none of them have interested me. And for whatever reason, like, I never had a Wii or a Wii U, so
Yeah.
Galaxy was off the table for me. I played Sunshine. That was the last game I played. And
Yeah.
I loved Sunshine. I played it to death. Like, I think somebody booted up Sunshine in front of me. It might have been my sister. It might have been someone here.
I played it, I think, briefly a little while ago.
Yeah, maybe it was you, and you were on the island level, right? And you were doing a chase with a dude. Anyway,
think so.
I remember that, and I was immediately thrown back. I was like, oh, right, and you jump there, and then the mushrooms, and like, it just reminded me how much fun it is to just jump around in a Mario game. And how much fun it is to interact. And Mario Odyssey just, like, blew it out of the park. I was like, oh, finally a collectathon I feel like I'm having fun in. Because I haven't really had a lot of fun with collectathons since, I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, I think collectathons, because like the open world game has become the new collectathon, but they do it wrong,
Yeah, it's
right?
boring.
Because it's just boring. You're like, oh,
It's
here's
not
all the
fun to get
things on the
around.
map, and I just
Yeah.
gotta go to them and get them.
Yeah, it's never
Whereas
interested me.
Mario's like, oh, if I get enough coins, I'm getting health, and then if I get enough of these coins, I can buy costume, and then like there's moons everywhere, and I'm getting moons, and then I feel like I'm progressing the story, and like
Yeah, exactly.
it's always moving forward.
It's little things,
Which
right?
is it's a bunch of little things that are always building up, kind of
Yeah.
like the Absolver thing we were talking about, where you're always learning stuff. It's
Yeah.
that thing.
Well, like and the thing is about the new Mario game is you actually do feel like you're learning because it's a little hard to get used to the jumps. Like there's a classic 3-jump Mario, and then he's got the hat throw. But it like takes a little while to figure out how to get the hat throw, to jump off a wall, to hat throw, to jump on that, to get to another wall that's further away, to jump in, right? And you're like doing this really complicated
Yeah.
wall jump thing.
Yeah.
And like to get that and like even get it halfway, you're like, oh, it's so cool. Like I've never pulled it off all the way, but it's like it's fun to even attempt it. And
Yeah.
that's why I think it's so cool.
Well, people talk a lot about like, oh, the platformer's dead, or like the platformer genre's dying, or whatever, right? And now that I understand sort of game design a little bit more than I did when I was a kid and I was playing games like Mario and like whatever, I've realized watching you play Odyssey that the reason platformers is dying is because so many people just make them like you just jump and you have a jump and you jump on things.
Yeah.
But like Nintendo, when they make a platformer, and it's what they did with the old Nintendo Mario's, what they're doing with this one, is they flesh out that jump. Like their mechanic is jumping, so you can jump, you can double jump, you can jump off walls, you can now
can
throw your
back
hat,
jump.
dive into it, flip off that, you can ground pound jump, you can back jump, like
Yeah.
you have so many jumps.
Yeah.
Like jumping is a move set that
Jumping
you have.
combos.
And it's so much fun. Like there's so many times when you're like running the wrong way and you're like, oh, and then you quickly do the side jump and you
It's fantastic.
all right, take us away.
There's actually one that I want to squeak in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really quick.
Squeak it in.
Cuphead.
Cuphead was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I thought Cuphead was really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's the Dark Souls of platformers, whatever.
That's the Dark Souls of
It was a cool blend of like platforming and bullet hell, and just like the art style was amazing.
yeah.
Art direction.
And
a lot
They
of
won
good effort.
Best art
in it.
direction, I think.
Yeah,
It deserves it.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Those guys worked really
And I think
hard.
from the sound design to the visuals were just like.
Oh,
And I love that it's like it's not something people have done in games before, but it now seems obvious now that they did it.
Yeah.
You know, like the 1930s cartoon thing. It's
Yeah.
like, why hasn't somebody done that yet?
Yeah, why hasn't anybody done that hand-drawn style before?
Yeah, that's amazing, and it looks so good. And I have a feeling we're going to see more of those. So that was
Cuphead.
Cuphead.
I agree.
It's just good. It's just a
I
great
agree.
game.
I did think about Cuphead, and for whatever reason, I didn't put it in the honorable mentions. So there you go.
But for me,
Yeah, and this is my number
and
one game.
maybe for you,
And it's in my honorable mention because I haven't
because you haven't
more
played
yet.
much of it yet.
Yeah.
But The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's it. That's all I need to say.
Thanks for joining us today.
I will say, I haven't been that just willing to like lose sleep and like suffer as a person to play a video game.
Well, For Honor.
For Honor was different because it was like when it was the beta, I like only had a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was like, I want to cram as much as I can into playing
but
this
he
game.
owned the game.
But I
It was
had
in the
Zelda.
house.
I could play it whenever I wanted, and I'd suddenly realize it was like 4 in the morning, and I've just been sitting there, wandering across Hyrule, finding mushrooms,
Oh God.
and having the time of my life.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then because there was 3 of us playing it, and we were all using the same system, which like doesn't really happen in this house too much. But we were all like, "Is it my turn to play Zelda?" Like you felt like you're 12 again.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, "Mom,
I felt like a kid.
Every
It was
other
crazy.
console we have like multiples of, obviously, because there's so many of us. But we only have one Wii U
Yeah.
and one copy of Breath of the Wild, and it was just very funny watching all of you like just squog all over it.
Yeah, I just wanted to play it all
Hey,
the time.
Is you back from work yet? Because like I'm gonna try and go
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild.
I've never
before it
been
gets
so aware of everyone's schedule when Breath of the Wild came out. Oh fuck yeah, I can play for like 30 minutes before Kelly's zone.
Yeah, because it's just mine.
It was blast. I loved it. I've never had so much fun. Just exploring and doing pretty much nothing.
Yeah, it
made doing nothing fun.
It made doing nothing fun. It's how open world games should be. Like obviously there's things about it you can change, but the basic approach of everything around you is important and discovering the world is the game
Yeah.
is just like that's how you should do open
Every
worlds.
corner of that map rewards you
Yeah.
Yeah.
in some way.
I
You
love
just
that.
find a weird little like tree. You're like, what's over there? And you go over there, and there's something
It's
in
a
the
garden.
tree, but there's also
You're
a
like,
chest
oh.
beside the tree, and there's like a new enemy encampment, and you go fight them, and you get weapons, and like, you're like, I was trying to go to this village, but it's
Yeah.
been 3 hours, and I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know how I got here.
Yeah.
Like, another thing I really love about that game is like the map. Although yeah, super important and really handy tool. It doesn't really tell you everything.
No,
Like so when I uncover the map, I'm like, okay, I still have no idea where anything is.
It's ironically both a more detailed map than most games do, but still tells you less than most maps
Maps do.
give you.
well, it's so good. I think we were talking about it
Yeah.
because now you're playing
Yeah.
it kind of
I have it on
through
the Switch
properly,
now, yeah.
and like, it's so good because every little like stream and like hill and little stand of trees
Field and
is named.
Mm-hmm.
So people in the game, it's not voice acted because it's huge, and people in the game, it keeps the budget down. And Zelda, like the regular people, there's voice acting.
Yeah, well, there's
but,
some voice cutscenes.
but like just around the world, it's not voice acted. But the people can be like, oh yeah, if you go past like the Whispering Wood and then over the little brother river and like across to the
Yeah.
cavern of
Through
whatever,
the Bobo
you
Valley.
can find that
yeah.
because it's all labeled, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh cool.
Oh,
I just go over
The-
there.
The funny thing is that like they don't even need to do that because 9 times out of 10 when you take on those quests, it just gives you like a ping on the map anyways. But it's like you.
But I turned
fuck
it off.
Yeah. did
Yeah,
you?
I just turned it off.
That's so cool.
And then you can find it. And
That's
it's,
awesome.
It's so good.
That's
It's so
really, really
great.
cool.
I love it
well,
so
some,
much.
some of the side quests don't tell you that.
Yep.
They don't give you the pip. They do for the
Yeah.
main quests, but not for the side. So you're
Yeah.
like, there, and then there, and so triangulating. I guess it's in here.
Yeah, and then you usually find it because like it's designed so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with modern open world games, they don't give you names to anything in the world, but they'll give you a bunch of blips.
Yeah, just a whole
that's
bunch of
where it
blips.
is.
Blips
It's
are
like,
super
those are too
important.
many blips. I
And-
don't want to go to the blip.
The Witcher.
Blips and collectathons.
Yeah.
You know, you find a thing in the map. If like Witcher, it's notice boards. Ubisoft things, it's towers,
Yeah.
like they kind of did in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But like you get the map, and then you already had the map. Like you could already see where like the structure of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get your watchtower, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, here's all of the things you can collect. Like, here's all the chests and the feathers and the fucking submissions and mini
Yeah.
bosses or whatever everywhere. But Zelda's just like, nope, now you can see what this mountain's called.
Yeah.
You gotta climb the mountain to find out if there's anything there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you do because you have like you're like, oh, climbing a mountain. That
And
sounds
you can
fun.
climb anything and glide everywhere, so it's just getting around is so
Just a
fun.
big old sandbox.
Yep. And then
Oh.
horses are.
But then, like,
So
the
good.
towers themselves also present puzzles that you have to solve. Like,
Yep.
some of the towers are actually really fun to figure out how the hell to get up them, because some of them are insanely tall, and some of them are covered in bramble, and, like, it's just...
Some of them
it's
have
crazy.
enemies,
Yeah,
and-
some enemies. And then you get to the top, and sometimes there's someone up there, and you're
Yeah.
like, there's something else to do at this tower other than just collect the tower. And it's just a whole other level of just, like, I wasn't expecting that. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. It's a great game.
go play it. Wii
But
U,
it is
Switch, doesn't
the
matter, go
game.
get it.
It is my game of like the decade, never mind the year. Like it's so good.
I really,
And
really.
that only
enjoyed
2 years ago, and that's all we got, so...
it. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's gonna. There might be other games that I fucking love, but like Breath of the Wild was.
All the open world games I played this year, really good.
Maybe open world games are starting to be good again.
I hope not,
What?
because they'll just be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean they already are though. So. I mean a little late.
I didn't notice until
I think
like,
I don't.
this
I don't.
second.
I think that started recently. I don't
No,
know.
it's been going for a while.
really.
Yeah,
Sean.
I had no idea.
it's all right.
We had just had some background.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We had some epic music.
I'm sure you can figure something out.
Sure.
I don't know how sound works.
I think that's all our games, though.
Yeah, that's me. That's me tapped out.
That's us.
That
That's
said,
me tapped like a man of
we
pool.
didn't like. We actually. I'm now going through it. We actually played some really, really good games this year, and I think we hit most of the nails in the head, like a lot of the really, really good titles
Yeah.
from this year. But we played a lot of games that weren't from this year that we really liked. Like we've been playing through Witcher, and you played Doom, Sean.
Doom's great.
And I'm trying to think of something else that came out not this year, but like
I think
Dishonored 2 I played, and Dishonored I played, and
Wolfenstein now.
Wolfenstein. Was this the year that I like finished up Uncharted 4?
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Did I
you
do that
finished,
last year?
I think it was no,
I think
it was
you finished
last
up-
year.
I think you finished
It was-
no early this year. No.
No, I think
I
it was
don't
last
remember.
year because
I haven't played Lost Legacy yet though.
because For Honor came out
Early this year.
Early this year.
Yeah, it was like March,
no, February. I thought.
February. It was February.
February, yeah.
It was Valentine's Day. It came out Valentine's Day. Yeah.
But anyways, we played a lot of really good games this year, but unfortunately they couldn't get on our list
They
because they
could
didn't
not
come out
make
this
it.
year. We're a little
Like-
behind.
Like, honestly, I just want to talk more about Human Fall Flat because it was so much fun. Like, Julie and I have been playing Human Fall Flat, like, I don't know, every other night when it's just me and Julie. And the way to solve puzzles in that game is so ridiculously fun. I just want to mention it more. Snake Pass is really, really fun. Also came out this year. Where
For the Switch, right?
For the Switch, for the PS4, for the
It's on a bunch of
Xbox
stuff,
One,
yeah.
for the PC. It's really hard. It's a fun platformer because you can't jump. You're a snake, so figure it out. And it is
Good
really
call.
weird because you're like, I think like
Like
a
a
snake, and it's not easy.
Yeah, I played it for like 15 minutes and I was like, this is awesome.
It's so much fun. So much fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those are our top games, 2017.
Top games of 20 Serpentine.
17.
Keep them guessing. Well, thanks for joining
Thanks
us.
for watching
on
us.
Geek Garden. I was not just saying that. Anyway, have a happy 2018.
Expect a new video from us soon with our hopes and dreams of 2018.
Most anticipated.
Most anticipated games. I'm trying to think of what games are coming out, but that's for another time, another video.
I know what Kelly's excited about.
You do? Thanks, gardeners.
Thanks.
See ya.